Debut as a Laker. No Paul George, had surgeries on both shoulders. Look for him in November. Kawhi making his debut for the Clips. A home game for that team. Didn't sound like it when he got the Clippers up 8 at the break. Third quarter. Clips running. Landry Shamet can't get it to go. And the Lakers pushing it the other way. Get it to LeBron with emphasis. And LeBron kind of eyeballing Lou Williams. 7 of 9 shooting for 18 points for LeBron James. Not a great game, but playing some defense here. His signature chase down block getting Shamet. And then LeBron stays with it and draws the charge on Montrezl Harrell. Lakers put a run to tie this game heading into the fourth. In the fourth, number 39, Dwight Howard has an easy bunny, and then Kawhi swoops in from the backside. Leonard playing some defense as well. How about Clippers owner Steve Ballmer? He's a skillionaire, and he's wearing threadbare 12-year-old shirts.
It happens. It's a thing. Those things rip at the wrong angle.
Yeah, I love everything about Steve Ballmer. I want to sit next to him during the game at some point. JaMychal Green, 4 threes. The bench was huge for the Clips. They had 60 points in this game, and then a little later, Harold spin and one. The Clippers go on to win this one 112-102. Kawhi finished with 30 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists. What about LeBron and AD? Kind of disappeared late in this game. They combined for 41 points on better than 40% shooting over the first 3 quarters. A different story in the fourth. They combined for 2 points while committing as many turnovers in the final period as they had through the first 3 quarters combined. Let's bring right back Stephen A. Smith to join us on this one. LeBron and AD getting 2 points combined in the fourth quarter is suboptimal. What happened here, Stephen A., down the stretch?
Well, first of all, number one, the Clippers' defense is elite. They got some rough riders on that defensive side of the ball. They really, really go after it. They go after you, and they don't just try to stop you. They try to demoralize you and take your heart. That's number one. Number two, you have a superstar in Kawhi Leonard, who's the reigning champion and NBA Finals MVP, who just took on all comers. He was clearly the best player on the court last night, and that certainly didn't help the Lakers. Number three, if you're the Lakers, you have no identity. You have limited outside shooting. You have nobody who could create their own shot off the dribble outside of LeBron James, and he was too busy trying to get Anthony Davis the basketball all night long that he forgot almost how to play offense himself. He was an absolute no-show. It was reminiscent of his performance in the finals against the Dallas Mavericks years ago when there was an APB out for him in the fourth quarter of several games. That's what happened to him last night. Now, this is the opening of the season. We know it's a long season. We know LeBron James is one of the greatest in the world. I was predicting at the start of the season that he would be our league MVP when all is said and done. I'm not jumping off that wagon, but we're going to take this on a game-by-game basis, understanding that a season is a soap opera. LeBron James was flagrantly and incredibly unimpressive, lackadaisical, subpar, and then some. And Anthony Davis wasn't that much better, but at least he was trying. He was being aggressive. It's just that Montrezl Harrell was being physical with them all over him, and he was ineffective close to the basket. That's what happened last night. The Lakers got a lot of things to fix. Obviously, Clippers have superior coaching to the Lakers, even though Frank Vogel can coach. But the Lakers need to figure out something, and it needs to start with LeBron James, remembering the fact that he's a career 27-point-per-game scorer, as opposed to scoring 9 points below his career average and looking as passive as he's ever looked dating back to the finals against Dallas in 2011.
Yeah, it's stark contrast to Kawhi, who really took over that game during stretches. Yeah. All right, so 1 of 82 are in the books. This season, Stephen A., feels more wide open than the last few when we figured it was going to be the Warriors and someone else. Besides the Lakers, give me a storyline you're most intrigued by this season.
Well, listen, I'm intrigued by several things. You got to keep your eyes on Portland. They were in the Western Conference Finals last year. You got to look at the Houston Rockets with Russell Westbrook and James Harden. You got a few people who think that they can escape out of the West. The Clippers are obviously the most formidable team right now. We can't ignore them. Can't ignore Utah. Certainly can't ignore Denver. Out east, of course, there's the Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak. We know what he can bring to the table. But I've got my eyes on the Philadelphia 76ers more so than the Boston Celtics, who obviously play on ESPN tonight. And when you look at Boston, even though you replaced Kyrie with Kemba Walker, the quintessential replacement to Kyrie Irving, the reality is that Boston lost out on Al Horford. Now, you might think Enes Cantor is a good replacement, but to me, he's no Al Horford. And for Al Horford to be in Philadelphia with the Joel Embiid, who I believe will be an MVP candidate if he's healthy, with a Ben Simmons, who's a jump shot away of being LeBron James Part 2, along with guys like Tobias Harris and Josh Richardson, who are no scrubs, although there are questions about the Sixers bench, their depth, their ability to hit perimeter shots now that J.J. Redick is gone. I don't think it's deniable that the Philadelphia 76ers are the best team in the Eastern Conference as far as I'm concerned, and I'm picking them to represent the East in the NBA Finals.
All right, we'll see if they can finish the deal. They start the deal tonight, as you mentioned, against the Celtics. And you have, let me promote your show here, Stephen. A full day for you, First Take and SportsCenter Hits, and your own SportsCenter coming up tonight at 7 Eastern with that Cheshire Cat grin of yours. We've got the Pelicans. What's going on with that team without Zion? LeBron, AD, Kawhi, highlights and reactions to the battle in L.A. And, of course, getting you ready for Celtics, Sixers, 7:30 Eastern. All access pass to that one at 7:30 and 7 o'clock Eastern is the Stephen A. Sports Center. Just ahead on this edition of Sports Center, what is Tom Brady's plan for next year? The Patriots quarterback weighs in on his future in football, and the answer may not thrill Pats fans. We'll show you that in just a few minutes. Diana.
David, game one of the World Series last night, Washington's first ever too. They had 7 days off. Would it help them? Would it hurt them? Well, J.J. Watt was out there in Houston getting the crowd pumped up and ready to go with Max Scherzer on the mound for Washington. Bottom of the first here, runners in scoring position. Yuli Gurriel goes deep here. That's going to be a double. Altuve, George Springer, they're going to come in and score. So the Astros get up early. They take a 2-0 lead. Garrett Cole, he has been phenomenal. He's not given up a lead since May 22nd against the White Sox. And if you found a baseball in your backyard last night, you should thank this man, Juan Soto. The 20-year-old just lifts off a bomb. He's the fourth player in MLB history to hit a home run in the World Series before his 21st birthday. He turns 21, actually, in just 2 days. Well, game tied at 2-2. Top of the fifth inning here. Astros trail 3-2 here. Cole in a jam. Soto up to bat. Runners on first and third. Full count. Ball bounces off. 2 runs come in to score. Soto, all postseason, he has stepped up in the big moments. Doesn't seem to be too intimidated by it all. Bottom of the eighth. Astros trail 5-3. Springer up to bat. Runner on second. Crushes this ball. Bounces off the wall. Adam Eaton can't make the play. 1 run comes in to score. The Astros trail 5-4. All right. Jose Altuve, he had to fly out there, but Sean Doolittle now on the mound. Brantley hits the line drive. Doolittle gets out of the jam. Soto pumped up after the Game 1 victory. And the Nationals win their first World Series game. They are up 1-0. Tonight, though, they are back at it. Steven Strasburg taking on Justin Verlander in Game 2. Verlander has made 4 times as many postseason starts in his career as Strasburg. The National starter has gone 3-0 with a 1.64 ERA in 4 starts this postseason, while striking out 33 batters in the process. Our MLB analyst and World Series champ, Ryan Howard, joins us now. So we know Steven Strasburg is looking to put the Nats up 2-0 in this series, going up against Justin Verlander, of course, on the other side for the Astros. But looking at these 2 starters, which one do you think has the edge tonight? Well,
looking at these 2 starters, I mean, obviously you have to look at Steven Strasburg with what he's done and what his numbers say. He's 3-0 with a 1.64 ERA, 33 strikeouts, 1 walk right now. But that's not just it. To me, the other factor is you've got a Houston Astros lineup right now that has kind of been struggling for runs. They'll score and then they just kind of go dormant a little bit. So with Strasburg being as effective as he's been, you have to give him the edge. And then you look at Justin Verlander doing what he does. I mean, he's kind of struggled a little bit. He's 1-2. You know, he's got the 3.7 ERA right now, but he's given up 5 home runs right now, and that's not pretty typical Justin Verlander.
And he's 0-4 in World Series outings for himself here. And he talks about this nervous energy all the time that he has and controlling that. And he says, look, I know I'm not going to sleep well, but I have to handle it. That nervous energy, how do you contain it in such a big spotlight?
Well, we heard it last night. Juan Soto said it his first at bat. The nerves get you. It's how you can be able to kind of temper it, because you're going to be amped up for the World Series. This is the biggest stage. This is what you play for all year. Once you get out there, that first beat of sweat, that first pitch kind of hits in, you kind of settle in a little bit, then that's what it's going to take for Verlander to kind of get in that rhythm and get into that flow. And just let the game be the game. It's still the same game.
All right, first pitch, game 2 set for 8:07 p.m. Eastern. You can listen to all the action on ESPN Radio. Ryan Howard with us here on SportsCenter.
Thank you.
We got more baseball. Former Cubs player and current ESPN analyst David Ross is heading back to Chicago as the Cubs' new manager. That, according to our Jesse Rogers, an announcement expected tomorrow. Ross, no managerial experience, but he was a clubhouse leader during Chicago's run to the World Series title in 2016. He hit a home run in Game 7, his last swing before retirement. The 42-year-old Ross replaces Joe Madden. So 6 managerial openings remain in baseball, with the Cubs reportedly finding their man. Among the leading names are Joe Girardi, who is being strongly considered by the Phils and Mets, and former Orioles manager Buck Showalter.
Is Tom Brady making it harder or easier to figure out what his next move will be? The Patriots legend weighs in on his future in football next right here on SportsCenter. Plus, last-second heartbreak leads to big changes for Joel Embiid. How he's using a playoff loss to actually make him better.